Good morning. We are going to start once again the topic named as organometallic chemistry or organometallic compounds. Yesterday, we have seen the introductory part of this topic where we have defined the organometallic compounds are nothing but the compounds of transition metals which contains at least one metal carbon bond. All such compounds are known as organometallic compounds. So, in brief, the organometallic compounds are nothing but the compounds containing the metal carbon bonds are known as the organometallic compounds. Major contribution was carried out by E.C. Franklin in the year 1848 when he was studying the organo-arsenic compounds. So the term organometallic compounds was coined by E.C. Franklin in the year 1848 and he concluded that there are certain compounds which contains metal carbon bonds. All such compounds are normally referred as organometallic compounds. Major research was carried out in the early days in the year 1848. The question was how to give a name that should be universally acceptable in order to have a common system of nomenclature. Certain rules were developed known as IUPAC nomenclature for naming the organometallic compounds. We have seen so far yesterday 6 different rules in this regard. So these are the rules which govern how to give a name for a particular organometallic compound. Then we have seen that the formation of alkyl and aryl compounds of beryllium, where we have studied the formation of CH3 twice Be or BeCH3 twice, that is alkyl beryllium compound, which is normally known as dimethyl beryllium. Here, the compound can be synthesized or prepared by using 2 different methods, that is a transmetallation or the another method that is utilized, that is metal halides, which are replaced by a transition metal cation. When methyl beryllium was synthesized, that is CH3 twice Be, the question was how to study the structure. In order to study the structural study of this organoberyllium compound, different aspects were put forward by different scientists. But one common conclusion that is drawn, that all organoberyllium compounds or organometallic compounds are electron deficient. That is, there is insufficient electrons are present. Even though there are insufficient electrons are present, the bonding takes place. So such bonding is known as a 3C2E bond, what we call as a banana bonds. Yesterday we have seen that whenever we find banana bonds in any compound, that definitely indicates that such compound is an electron deficient compound. Because there are not enough electrons are available to join all the atoms together in the molecule, there is a scarcity of electrons and hence these compounds are regarded as electron deficient compounds. Now, based on this concept of 3C2E bonds, that is a banana bond, we are going to proceed further with the next organo aluminum compound. So, the organo aluminum compound can be studied on similar grounds. In the beginning, we shall study in brief the preparation of organo aluminum compound. Then we are going to study the structure of this organoaluminum compound. So just see here how to synthesize the organoaluminum compound that we have to study. Now, here this is alkyl or aryl compounds of aluminium, which are also known as organoaluminum compounds. Here we are going to study how this organoaluminum compound can be synthesized. To synthesize this organoaluminum compound, different methods were adopted, but we are going to study a very simplest possible method. If suppose two molecules of aluminum, if reacts with organomercury compound, it gives Al2R6 plus thrice Hg. That means this aluminum combines with this R, that is alkyl or aryl group, so as to form the desired compound, that is organoaluminum compound. Or the same reaction can also be represented as twice Al plus thrice Hg CS3 twice. This is a dimethyl mercury. When it combines, again a similar type of reaction takes place, that is Al2 CS3 6 plus thrice Hg, and here it is known as three methyl groups are there, hence the name is a trimethyl aluminium, but we can designate this as a dimer because this is not a monomer, this is a dimer of organoaluminum compound. So we have to name this organoaluminum compound as trimethyl aluminum dimer. So it is a dimer of aluminum. So this is simple possible method that we have seen, that how aluminum organoaluminum compound can be synthesized. Now, if we look at the structure can simply be written as like this. As two aluminum atoms are there, I have written two aluminum atoms. Then out of 6 methyl groups, I shall write first of all 4 methyl groups. These are the 4 methyl groups, and remaining 2 methyl groups, they are present in between the two aluminum atoms like this. So the total number of methyl groups are 6 in number. So the 6 methyl groups, they are again classified into two types, or there we can find that in the structure two types of methyl groups are there, or are alike but they are in different environment. I mean to say two types of methyl group means they are present in different environment. Amongst 6 methyl groups, 4 methyl groups, that is first, second, third and fourth. The 4 methyl groups which are present on two extreme sides of this aluminum are known as terminal methyl groups, and these are the remaining first and second. These are the two methyl groups which form a sort of bridge between two aluminum atoms and hence are known as bridging or bridge methyl groups. So in the dimer of aluminum or organoaluminum compound, we can find that there are 6 methyl groups are present, but out of these 6 methyl groups, 4 methyl groups are present in some different environment than the remaining two. That means 2 methyl groups, they act as a bridge between two aluminum atoms. So I have not shown any bonding between these two aluminum atoms, but they do so through methyl groups. So the two aluminum atoms are joined or linked together through this bridging methyl groups. So these are the two methyl groups. They form a sort of bridge between two methyl groups. It is also evident that the bond angle, that is bridge bond angle, that is aluminum methyl group and this aluminum is found to be 75 degrees, while there is again differences in the bond lengths of the methyl groups which are present at the terminal side and the methyl groups which are present in the bridge group. The bridge bond length, that is aluminum, sorry, the aluminum methyl terminal bond length is found to be 195 picometers. That means this bond length, aluminum methyl group, this is found to be 195 picometers, while the bridge bond length, that is between this aluminum and this methyl group, is found to be 212 picometers. So aluminum methyl bridge bond length is found to be 212 picometers. So these are the differences in the bond lengths, which also gives us the idea that four methyl groups are present in different environment than the remaining two. So this bond length indicates that the methyl groups are present as a bridge between two aluminum atoms, and the bond lengths, that is 195 picometer, that indicates these are the terminal methyl groups. So how to study the structure or how the bonding takes place? Yesterday we have seen that I have told you yesterday that you have to remember certain points while explaining the structure for either organoberyllium or organoaluminum compound. Here we have to, you must remember these 5 to 6 points while giving the explanation. The first point that I have written here, that there are 6 methyl groups are present, which are present in two different groups. 4 are terminal and 2 are bridging. Second, that in case of this organoaluminum compound, insufficient electrons are present. That means there is a scarcity of electrons is there. That means this compound is regarded as a electron deficient compound. Third, here it is seen that, suppose for example, if we consider this aluminum atom, then this aluminum atom is surrounded by first, second, third and fourth. So every aluminum atom is a tetrahedrally, every aluminum atom is a tetrahedrally surrounded by 4 methyl groups. This is also very important. The word tetrahedral means, we know yesterday that whenever we use the word tetrahedral, definitely the aluminum must have undergone sp3 hybridization. So this is the next point, that aluminum has undergone sp3 hybridization. Hence I have used the word tetrahedral. The same is true for this aluminum also. This aluminum is also surrounded by first, second, third and fourth. So every aluminum atom is surrounded by 4 methyl groups in a tetrahedral fashion. Then fifth, this structure is regarded as a bridge structure. And perhaps you might be knowing why the structure is regarded as bridge structure, because amongst 6 methyl groups, 2 methyl groups are present as a bridge between two aluminum atoms. Hence the structure is regarded as a bridge structure. So the bridges are between aluminum, carbon from methyl and another aluminum. So it forms a bridge structure. Then this organoaluminum compound always found in solid state. It does not occur in its gaseous or in liquid state. And one more point is that, which is very important, in case of organoaluminum compound, again 3C 2e bonding is there. That means in these cases both aluminum and carbon both have undergone sp3 hybridization, and here there is a scarcity of electrons, and hence the type of bonds that exist is known as the banana bond. So banana bond, there are two such banana bonds have been found. So you must by heart all these seven different points, then and then you will come across the explanation very easily. You can write the explanation for organoaluminum compound very easily. First point, amongst the six methyl groups, there are two types of methyl groups are present. Four are terminal, two are bridging. Second, in the structure of organoaluminum compounds, there are not enough bonding electrons are available, and hence there are insufficient electrons are present, and hence the compound is an electron deficient compound. Third, each aluminum in the structure is a tetrahedrally surrounded by four methyl groups. That means aluminum must have undergone sp3 hybridization. This structure is regarded as a bridge structure because there are bridges between aluminum and carbon from methyl group and another aluminum atom. Organoaluminum compound always exists in solid state, and in the structure we can find that there are 3C2E bonds are there. That means three centers, which are those aluminum, carbon and aluminum. First center, second center and third center, and all these three atoms are joined by two electrons, and hence this is known as a 3C2E bond, or what we call as a banana bond. So how to arrive at the formation of banana bond, that we have to study now. Now listen very carefully how the formation of banana bond takes place. As we know, aluminum is the 13th member of periodic table, having the electronic configuration as 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p1. Aluminum has 3 valence shell electrons. So we are considering only valence shell of aluminum. Now the box diagram representation of aluminum in ground state. Here it is showing only 10 minutes are left. We are going to again continue by clicking the same link. The ground state electronic configuration of aluminum is like this. This is 3s, this is 3p, 3s containing 2 electrons, 3p containing only 1 electron. Now during the formation of bond, that is in excited state, the electronic configuration becomes like this. One of the electron is unpaired and it is promoted to this 3p level, that is 3py. So the excited state electronic configuration is like this. So this is 3s1, 3px1, 3py1 and 3pz0. So these are the four such hybrid orbitals undergo sp3 hybridization. These are the four orbitals, first, second, third and fourth. So four hybrid orbitals are there, but only with 1, 2 and 3, only with 3 electrons. Hence we consider this compound as an electron deficient compound. So because there is a scarcity of electrons, and hence it is known as an electron deficient compound. Now another atom, carbon from methyl group, having the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. The box diagram representation can be shown as like this. This is a 2p and this is 2s, and this is a 2p, 2s2 and 2p2. One of the electron that is unpaired and it is promoted. So this is a ground state electronic configuration. The excited state electronic configuration becomes like this. Every orbital contains single electron, and hence carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. So in both these cases, Aluminum has undergone sp3 hybridization. Carbon has also undergone sp3 hybridization. Hence, I have used the word as a tetrahedral surrounded by aluminum. So, four methyl groups are surrounded tetrahedrally by aluminum. Now, come to the bonding. We have to show these four orbitals of this aluminum, namely 3s, 3px, 3py and 3pz. So 4 hybrid orbitals but only with 3 electrons. That can be shown as like this. This is aluminum atom. 4 hybridized orbitals are like this. Then we have to show the 3s electron. This is a 3s. Then this is 3px, 1 electron, then 3py single electron, and 3pz is empty. So this is a 3pz orbital of aluminum. So these are the four hybridized orbitals of aluminum but only with 3 electrons. Another aluminum atom having the same electronic configuration, 4 hybridized orbitals are there like this. These are the 4 hybridized orbitals are there. This is again 3s, this is 3px, 3py, and this is 3pz. Again 3s orbital containing single electron, 3px containing single, 3py orbital containing single electron, while 3pz is empty. So this is how we have shown these four hybridized orbitals of aluminum, that is sp3 hybridized orbitals of aluminum. Now we shall show the four hybridized sp3 hybridized orbitals of carbon. So this is a carbon atom. This is first orbital, the second orbital, third and fourth. Each orbital containing single electron, that is a 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz. So this is 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz. Another carbon atom, that is a bridge carbon atom, first orbital, second orbital, third orbital and fourth orbital, containing again 4 electrons, 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz, containing single electrons each. But these carbon atoms are nothing but the methyl groups. So we have to write the hydrogen atoms like this. 3 hydrogen CH3. So hydrogen atoms will contribute, or they share a common pair of electron and they can form the bond between carbon and hydrogen. Same is true for this carbon CH3, CH3. So these are the 3 hydrogen atoms with single electrons. So they share a common pair of electron here and these 3 bonds are formed. Now we have to show the bonding between aluminum carbon and this aluminum. Now here 2 electrons are there, one 3s and one 2s, while this orbital of aluminum is empty. But we have shown the bond between this carbon and aluminum. So to form this bond and this bond between carbon and aluminum, 4 electrons are required, but only 2 electrons are there. So these 2 electrons are commonly shared by this aluminum, carbon and aluminum. So this electron density that spreads equally, that is known as a delocalization of electron density, and this electron density holds all the 3 atoms together. This is the first atom, that is carbon, second aluminum and third. So single pair of electron holds all the 3 atoms together, hence this is known as a 3C2E bond. The same is true for this bond also. Here the 3pz orbital of aluminum is empty, while 2s orbital of carbon is there, while 3s orbital of another aluminum is there. So there is a bonding between aluminum and carbon and this aluminum and carbon. So to form these bonds, this single pair of electron, one electron from carbon, another electron from aluminum, and they share a common pair of electron, and again whatever electron density is there, that electron density spreads over all the three atoms, aluminum, carbon and aluminum. So due to equal spreading of electron density, which has a job to hold all the three atoms together in the molecule, hence three centers are there, which are those aluminum, carbon and aluminum, which are joined by two electrons. Hence this is known as a 3C2E bonds in case of organoaluminum compounds. So the electron density takes the shape of a banana, and hence we refer these bonds as the banana bonds. So yesterday we have seen that whenever banana bonds are found, they are the common feature of almost all electron deficient compounds. So the banana bonds indicative of that the compound is an electron deficient. So this is how we can explain the bonding in organoaluminum compound, which is on account of 3C2E bonds. So I'm going to stop here. We are going to continue again after 2 minutes by clicking the same link. So you have to join